It says 9 participants.
Okay, good. So that means it's working.
Ah, okay, here we go. People are coming in. Awesome.
And then YouTube will stream live in just 1 second. So we'll just wait another minute or so.
Okay. It says 9 participants.
There we go. That was you on YouTube going live. It has a little delay.
Yeah.
All right, let's just wait about 30 more seconds as more join us, and then we will start.
Okay, cool.
For joining and you're here for coffee or water and conversations for secondary, you are in the right place.
Excellent. And Danishes and discussions.
I know we need to change. We need an evening one. I don't have like a good alliteration game right now. Water and words.
And some of the beverages that come to mind for an evening might not be appropriate for a school environment.
Water and words, coffee and conversations.
Water and words. I like it.
All right. So it is 5:02. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. Mr. Cashman, can you see this?
Let's see, page is loading. Yes.
Okay.
I can see Barista Cashman.
Yes.
With coffee next to the conversations and Danishes next to the discussions.
Yeah, so we are here. Thank you for being here and joining us for Coffee and Conversations. We're here to talk about updates related to grades 6 through 12, so our secondary program for VA. And on our agenda for tonight is just some general announcements about second semester updates, classes, information about an electives webinar that we're going to be hosting later in the month. Some information also about academic honesty and our philosophy in terms of a teach first model. Calling home to you, so we get to talk to some of you in the coming days, which we're happy and excited about, and then some reminders that we'll leave you with. All right, so some second semester updates. So Mr. Cashman and Ms. O'Connell, along with site counselors, are working behind the scenes right now to populate courses for second semester. And this is for all of our students 6 through 12. So in the coming days and about weeks, we will be reaching out to students. Some students need to select another elective because they're finishing theirs if it's a semester course. Others are in an elective for the whole year. So the ones that are in an elective for the whole year, they will just be put into semester 2 of that course. The ones who need to choose another one for some additional learning, we will ask them what courses they need to take and we'll put them into those classes. We're doing it now and early so that there's not an interruption in their learning. And when we start second semester at the end of January, they'll just pick right back up into those courses. So we'll be sure to connect with you on our Wednesday messages about having those filled out and dates and deadlines and kind of all of this. But this is the early update that's coming. And then an update for high school students in particular, or only I should say, Ms. O'Connell is working behind the scenes also to update Aries. Right now, students' elective classes just say elective, and so they will reflect the actual course that they're in.
Right. So so students will start to see, and this is going to happen over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Students who are in an elective course, let's say period 3, might see that the classes change as if they had a change in schedule, but not really. And just instead of the word elective, it'll say, let's say, art history or whatever, intro to business, whatever the class actually says, and it'll stay that way until the end of the semester. And it'll also be set up that way for the next for the spring semester.
But Mr. Cashman, their teachers are not changing, their classmates are not changing, just the title in Aries.
Yes, exactly. And just a little bit of the why behind it is One, it's just more information to you, the parents, when you log in, so you can see what is this elective my child is taking. It helps the counselors, and at the end of the semester, those classes transfer onto the transcript. We want to make sure that it's an accurate representation of what students are doing. It's a big deal in high school, not so much a big deal in the middle school, where it's just exploration.
Perfect. And so kind of to that end, I know you and I have been talking about electives a lot. I had a great meeting with a few parents who have students of all different ages and grade levels in Virtual Academy who shared their desire for more information about electives. So I know, Mr. Cashman, you're working on creating the content for an electives webinar coming up on November 19th.
Yeah, November 19th at 5 p.m. And it'll just provide kind of an overview for the different platforms that we have and how you as a parent might support your child or get the information that you want in, logging in and seeing what your child is doing.
Perfect. So more info for that and links to come, but November 19th at 5 p.m. If you have a middle school student or a high school student who is taking an elective, which is 90% of our kids, you're welcome to join us. We will record that like we record everything. We'll post it, and we'll probably do middle school at the beginning and then high school at the end, so that parents kind of know when to tune in.
Yeah. And thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, so the platform we use for middle school is also used for some of our high school courses. So we'll do that one first. It's relevant to the high school, relevant for middle school, and then middle schoolers, you guys can log off and high school people can stay.
Perfect. So academic honesty and teach first model. We really wanted to share with you our program values and really the district values on academic honesty. So right now in particular, and I've had this conversation with teachers, I know Mr. Cashman has as well, with students and with parents, with administrators, that there is an increased amount of pressure right now to succeed and do well. And sometimes students in this environment, but truthfully in every environment, don't make the best choices. And when they're feeling that pressure, which comes from a good place, right? They want to do well. They don't make the best choices and they decide to cheat or plagiarize or ask a friend for their response on something. And so we wanted to discuss it here with you because we really believe in not only teaching first, but also the importance of the partnership between school and home. And so our philosophy is teach first instead of discipline first. So to us, this is the perfect opportunity to connect with a student who makes not such a great choice in that moment of pressure. To hear the why behind their choice, to give them an opportunity to reflect and share their struggling and share the pressure that they're feeling, or that they just didn't know the answer and they didn't want to get a 0 because they want to do well in the course. There are a lot of reasons that students don't make the best choices if they do cheat, and I think we've all been there and we know that to be true. And this is where our value of empathy really gets to come into play. So all of our teachers are working with students to teach them first instead of discipline first. And we want to just reach out to you and share not only that philosophy, but our hope for partnership with you. We have said to teachers and they have said to their students, if you come across a question on homework and you don't know the answer to it, instead of Googling it, instead of looking it up, instead of using an app to find an answer or a friend's answer, just leave it blank so that I can work with you and you can find the answer. The desire there is kind of twofold. One, like what a beautiful lesson in growth mindset, right? And to be able to say, I don't know the answer, and mistakes are meant to be learned from. And two, to really provide a solid foundation of critical thinking for students, which they don't get if they just look up an answer and copy and paste it online. So that's where we're coming from in our, in terms of the program, providing opportunities for critical thinking, which is a good thing. We have high expectations for kids, which is a good thing. We also know kids are under a lot of pressure right now, as are adults. And so please remind your students that anytime they just are feeling that pressure, instead of buckling to it, to reach out to their teacher and say, I'm leaving this blank instead of Googling it because I don't know the answer, or I'm afraid of failing, or whatever their why is, we're here to help and support them. So we would love your partnership in supporting them in that way too. Which brings us to calling home. So do you want this one, Mr. Cashman, or do you want me to take?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Let's see, the 10-week grades just came in, and I'm sure you've seen them on Aries. If you haven't, please log in, go to grades, click grades again in that little drop-down menu, and you can see how your kids are doing. And after every grading period, the 5, the 10, the 15, and so on, we always look at the data, and our data, it kind of tells us a story. So we see that most students are doing really well, but we also see that some students are struggling, and we are here to support. And what we take a team approach. So our counselors are going to reach out to our students. And in addition, of course, teachers are communicating with our students all the time. But in addition to that, we are going to call as well, and maybe another administrator from the school site might call. So because I'm wearing an Agora shirt today, I'm going to say maybe an administrator from Agora High School might call, and I might call as well, and the counselor. Please understand, this is only from a place of we are all here to help. This is coming from a place of love and care, and how can we help? And I'll tell you that we've done this 5 weeks ago at the 5-week grading mark, and some of the conversations were really eye-opening. It was really, some people shared that they're struggling with something maybe specific to one class, or maybe not related to school at all. And we work together to find a solution. If we don't have the solution, we try to come up with one, and then look elsewhere. So if you get a call, please answer. Please be prepared to have a friendly conversation, because that's what we're looking for. And I'll tell you, we love that part of our job, is talking to some of you was just awesome. We would sometimes hang up the phone after a conversation, walk out of the office and go, I just had the coolest conversation with this one parent, and it's great. So please answer the phone when you see that it says LVUSD or Agora or Calabasas, or I should represent the middle schools as well, Stell or Lindero or AURI. Please do.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I know we were both here late one night, and we said to each other, like walking out to our cars, that was the best part of our day, to be able to connect with parents, connect with students, because oftentimes with, middle and high school students, the family members or guardians or parents want to involve them. And so like you probably, some of the people who are on here we got to talk to, but you would pick up the phone and put them on speaker and say like, hey student, come over here, let's talk about this. And it really is not about being in trouble. It really is like, we see you're struggling, we're here to support, what do you need? And struggling looks different for everybody. So for some that's grades, for some it's socially and emotionally. And so the why that we're calling is going to look different for different families. But just know that if you see our numbers, like Mr. Cashman said, come across your caller ID, it is because we want to connect with you and offer you support wherever we can, so that you can find success and your students can find success this year. So some reminders. And then I have some questions also that I didn't put on our agenda that I want to be sure to answer. And Mr. Cashman, if you see any in the chat, let me know, since I'm not monitoring that right now. So counselors are available to support with all kinds of needs, whether it's questions about a class or having trouble navigating something, in terms of academics or social emotional, they're amazing. And your site counselors at the schools retain their caseload, whether students in Virtual Academy or the on-campus program. And they felt strongly about doing that and want to keep their kiddos right under their wings. So let's see if this pulls up. Can you still see my screen? I think you mouthed yes.
I am muted, but here we go. Yes, we see LVSD Virtual Academy. That's our website, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the Virtual Academy website. If you go to counseling office, you'll see counselors listed. They're also listed here on the left, and it will take you to a web page that has all of the site counselors with their alpha breakdown. So the way that the sites do counseling is that they break down student caseload by last name alphabetically. So you'll see Lindero, Wright, Stell, Agora, and Calabasas. And then all of the counselors' emails are hyperlinked. So if you click on one, an email will open up in your inbox and you can connect with them that way. This is available to anyone. Students can access this, parents can access this. So if you don't know who your student's counselor is, it's listed here. We'll leave it up on the screen for a second so that you can either screenshot or take a picture with your phone or write it down. But it's also on our website and it lives there. So no need to, if you're just driving and listening to, that's okay. So this is just a reminder because we've had a couple people reach out and say, I don't know who my counselor is. And we want you to know your counselors and they want to know you. So this is available for you and for students whenever needed.
And counselors do want to hear from you. So don't be shy, reach out.
All right. Are we back to our presentation? Yep, I'm going to take that as a yep. Okay. So 360 support is also there and available for you. We linked it on the next screen, so we'll go there in a minute. But just as a reminder, the district has free and completely confidential counseling services available to students and to families. So if you're watching this, you're either a student or a family member in our district, and that service is there for you. You can go to community360.me. And again, that's linked on the next page. We'll take you there in a second. To book an appointment with a counselor. That's in addition to our site counselors. So just in terms of like multi-level layers of support that's available to families and to students. Teachers are also another level or layer of support. And I know parents and students are reaching out to them. And just a reminder that they're there during support period, and some are also there at lunch or after school. Everyone kind of schedules their time a little bit differently. But support period is an incredible opportunity, whether you're a middle school student or a high school student or the parent or guardian of one of the two, to connect with teachers, to say, I don't understand this question about homework. I missed class. What are, the assignments? I'm having tech troubles, whatever it is. Support period is built into the day in both middle and high school now. And so I would please encourage students to use that time. It's like office hours. If they have questions or if they just want to say hi. Like nothing is better as a teacher, and I know Mr. Cashman, you can speak to this too, than building relationships with kids, especially right now where we're all craving it and kids are craving it. So encourage your student to log on 5 minutes early and just say good morning to their teacher and hello, or just drop into support in the morning, even if they don't have that teacher until the afternoon, and just say hi.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of like when we were on campus and a student would come into a teacher's classroom a little bit early just to say hello, just to ask a question. Think of it that way. Middle school has it before school and after school. High schools have it for almost an hour at the beginning of the day, before the first period of the day, except for Monday when the teachers are in meetings.
Perfect. Thank you. Also, a reminder sort of related to that, linked on our website are school calendars. So let's head there. Under information, you can click on the high school schedule or the middle school calendar. This brings you to our master calendar. It tells you all of the odd and even days. If there's a holiday, for example, Veterans Day is coming up. Sometimes the day after a holiday, if it's during the week, trips people up if they want to know if it's odd or even. So I would print this and stick it on your refrigerator, bathroom mirror, workspace, wherever a student would see it. And then the other one for, oh, that took me to the wrong page. Middle school students is here. And again, lists all of the odds and evens. The day after holidays also for middle school, throw kids off. This is the first year middle schools had a block schedule. So it's adjustment for everybody all around. Which brings me to a question. I'm going off script for a moment. Brings me to a question that someone submitted to our questions document that we shared earlier in the week. And that is, someone asked, how will finals be done? And although the question wasn't specific, I think they were asking just like when are finals and how will they be administered? So on both of the calendars we just shared with you, the final exam days are listed there. We'll also put them in our Wednesday updates. We'll link those for you too this week. And they'll be administered similarly to how any test is administered during class right now. Every teacher has different procedures and routines for proctoring, but they'll be done, during the school day and in class. And as we get closer to the holiday break and then again the end of the semester, teachers will give students specifics about that. And then the last bit is attendance. So I'm going to go home for a minute. So this is a Virtual Academy website, the homepage. You can navigate there by going to LVUSD's website, select a school, whoops, and then we're down second from the bottom, Virtual Academy. It takes you to this page. And then if you click attendance forms, read more right here, that is going to live there all year. You can click on the high school, middle school, or elementary school absence reporting. It is a Google form that you fill out. It asks you questions about your student. And that is how we know in advance if a student is going to be absent or after the fact if a student was absent. So just a reminder, if there's an absence, that always needs to be filled out. Right, last page. Mr. Cashman, do you want to give the last update on Community 360? You're muted again.
There we go, gotta unmute. Yeah, so we talked about it briefly. We do have our Community 360 counselors who are ready to help and support. You can schedule again, confidential appointments for the student, for the parents, for all of them. They can help with a whole number of things. And there's the website.
Yep, so you'll just click book now on the school, your student's home school, and then you'll be contacted with an appointment and you can meet our counselor. And whether it's resources for how to make friends in a virtual world or coping mechanisms or whatever it is that your students or you may be experiencing, they're absolutely incredible and serve the whole community, parents, families, students, and staff.
Right, and you saw the link on the very bottom. Our district supports our staff as well, because in order for us to support you, our staff needs to be supported as well.
Yeah. And then our last reminder is just to continue modeling kindness and empathy for students and other adults, and just showing up as the best version of yourself every day, as we try to do. We're really grateful to be here with you, to be partners with you. Yes, we are still in a pandemic, and yes, it is a trying time for a lot of people in different ways. And we're just grateful for your partnership and your feedback, your honesty. And we're going to continue to grow with you and to do these with you so that we can share that growth and new information as it comes. Did anything come up in the chat as we were?
Yes, a couple things. And I'm just remembering that there was something we wanted to mention. We have a few teachers who are on leave and are scheduled to come back very soon. So we're very excited about that. And so now, as far as the questions, will VA be accessible? Let me see here. Sorry, I misread this. Will the ECA, Early College Academy, be accessible to VA students second semester? Yes. No change there.
It's a yes, and it depends on their grade level. So there's no changes for second semester from first semester. So depending on the grade level your child was in, it either would or wouldn't be available. But students can always take classes for free through community colleges. Moore Park College was the community college that we have a partnership with for ECA. And so if you have questions about students taking community college classes for credit, then your school counselor would be the perfect person to ask, and they'll provide you with the forms needed and kind of next steps.
Okay. And then finally, APEX courses are APEX electives. Let me see. So APEX is one provider that we use, one platform that we use for electives. Not all electives are through APEX. So more on that on November 19th at 5 p.m.
And then I also had a question come through our form that we linked earlier, which was about CASP testing, wanting to know if CASP testing is being delayed this year. And we don't know yet. We don't have that information, but as soon as we know, we will let you know, because I know that students have all different kinds of feelings about CASP testing and questions about how we're administering it. So once we know more on that, we will share with you.
Right.
What else?
Another question just came in. If APEX is not getting a winter break, yes, they are. So what happens is APEX on their end doesn't know exactly when our winter break is, right? Winter break is different for different schools and different school districts. And so they accommodate to our break. I know we have some students who have already told me they're planning to work through break and catch up, or speed up through, and move further in the curriculum. But no students are obligated to work when we are on break.
If they want to work, can they?
Yes. So the cool thing about these platforms is that while we give them class time to work, some students work best at 7 p.m. or after dinner or whatever time it is. Hopefully not 2 a.m., right? They should be sleeping. But yeah. And I've seen kids who do a little bit of work during the week and then a lot of work over the weekend, and that's fine. Yes. And so to answer the question, yes, they can definitely work over break if they want to.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
What else? Anything else come up? With 1 minute to go.
Yeah. No, I think our timing is good.
Okay. If there is something that we didn't address with you, you can shoot either of us an email, or you can fill it out on our link, that form. It's called Questions for VA Staff. That link is the same link every time, and we just check it, and it's what helps us build our presentations to answer your questions. So if it's something that can wait until next month, then feel free to pop it there. If it's something that you need an answer to, this week, then you can send us an email. We are doing this again on Thursday at 4. If you have an elementary school kiddo, we'll be back on Thursday, and you're welcome to join us. We'll record this and share it out via Parent Square in case anybody wasn't able to join us, and then they can watch it at their leisure.
Okay, excellent. And we got a thumbs up on the coffee theme.
Okay, so my confession is thanks to Principal Liberty Logan at Sumac. She created that and we borrowed it from her with permission. So we can't take credit, but we will pass it to her. Thank you for the kind feedback. That was all Miss Logan. All right, well, we hope you have a great week, and maybe we'll see you Thursday if you have elementary kiddos, and if not, we hope you have a great Veterans Day, and we'll see you soon.